My name is Colby Harris. I'm currently studying French and film production at Boise State University. One day, one of my professors asked the class, "What's a hobby or activity you would like to start doing but haven't done yet?" Many of the students named things such as scuba diving, skiing, and surfing. And as they went around the room naming all of these activities, I thought to myself, everyone has these hopes and desires. What's stopping them from doing them? Why can't they just walk out after class today and start their new hobby? Perhaps they lack money. Perhaps they're too busy with work, which they need to do to make money. Perhaps they're too busy studying in order to get that degree that they need to get that career that will allow them to make more money. Then I found myself thinking about my exchange I plan on doing in France for my French major. The cost of it is extremely expensive. I have been worried about not being able to go because of it, especially because in all of 2022, I did not make enough income to pay for only one semester over there through this exchange program. I have heard from some European friends of mine that in many European countries, universities are not expensive for locals, so I began researching universities in Europe to find out theoretically how much it would cost to transfer and attend the university instead of going through the exchange program. What was surprising was that at many universities it would be less expensive than going through the exchange program, even with local housing and food costs. What was even more surprising was the cost of many European universities for EU residents. Many did not even have a tuition, meaning it was free or just required a small registration fee. Why is their college cost so different? Even though America is technically a democratic republic, I began comparing our college costs to those in other democratic countries around the world, countries with similar governments, because I figured if there's other similar governments with a lighter financial burden caused by higher education, it can be done in ours too, right? The results shocked me. Listed here are ranked as the top most democratic countries and their tuition compared to America's. As you can see, countries like Norway, Iceland, Sweden, Ireland, and Denmark have no tuition for EU residents, or a tuition for non-EU residents that's far lower than the average tuition in America, which is $25,707 per year. So if most of the world's democratic countries have lower tuition costs, why does American college comparatively cost so much? Where is the money going? If our tuition is so much higher, our professors must have higher salaries, right? But that's not the case. On the list of countries ranked based on the highest average teacher salary, Canada is ranked at number 1 at about $86.3K a year, followed by Italy at number 2 with $83.4K a year. Canada's average tuition for students is $7.6K a year. Italy, the average is about $800 to $2.2K per year, or free depending on your economic situation and academic performance. So if the money isn't going to our professors, what are some other reasons that our price could be so high? Are European citizens paying higher taxes to cover the low tuition costs? But that's not the case. In Norway, with tuition-free colleges, there's a 22% flat tax rate. In Germany, with colleges costing no higher than 250 euros a semester, tax rate is not so different from America, with a percentage of 14 to 45% depending on economic status, while in America, it is 10 to 37%. That is not a large difference, yet our tuition is so much higher. So if these universities are getting relatively similar funding from the people, I wondered if perhaps our government taxes our universities more. According to Time magazine, because higher education institutions provide the public good of education to surrounding communities, their property holdings are exempt from taxation in all 50 states. The mystery continues. Perhaps higher education requires these large funds, and the many countries with tuition-free colleges have it paid for by the government. This led me to research the government debt of the democratic countries, offering comparatively lower tuition costs to its residents, pulled from the list I showed earlier. Here is those countries and how they rank compared to America in debt in 2021. Out of these countries, America has the largest amount of debt with 115.28% in 2021, followed by Iceland with 72.5%, then Ireland, Canada, Finland, New Zealand, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and then Switzerland with 13.82%. Not only are we the highest, but in 1 year, in 2022, America rose from 115.28% to 121.11%. The results speak for themselves. Not only is our country deep in debt, but our citizens are too. According to a scholarly journal, growing education costs and rapidly increasing student loan debt have become serious issues for families, governments, researchers, and financial practitioners. Outstanding student loan debt reached $1.58 trillion in the third quarter of 2021. The 2018 National Financial Capability Study report indicates that 26% of American adults were indebted with a student loan for themselves or a family member. In 2021, the average student loan debt was close to $57,520 among U.S. households. More borrowers with a high loan outbalance have fallen behind on their student loan repayments as opposed to making progress to reduce the debt. And a study of student loan borrowers' mental health revealed that having student loans is negatively associated with psychological function. Another study found that compared with an aggregated measure of total debt, student loan debt showed a stronger positive association with financial anxiety among college students. The study also showed that perceived repayment difficulty among student borrowers was associated with financial stress. The greater amount of student debt young adults have, the poorer their mental health will be. The amount of financial stress placed on American students not only negatively affects the economy, but most importantly, negatively affects their mental health. There are some who see this issue and desire to do something about it. Marianne Williamson, currently running for the Democratic presidential candidate, said, "Like in every other advanced democracy, we could have tuition-free college and tech school. This could be a step in the right direction. However, when asked how she hopes to achieve her dreams of an America with tuition-free college, universal health care, and free child care, she said, "The people who have the money in this country should pay fair taxes. We should have a wealth tax." She said that 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, while the top 20% wouldn't even notice if their taxes were higher. However, as I mentioned earlier, there are many countries with similar or perhaps slightly higher tax rates than America, yet their college costs are drastically lower. We are missing something here. Where is our money going? We need to take the best aspects of other countries' higher education systems and implement them into our own, because clearly many have figured out how to educate their people while saving them from the financial burden and negative effects on mental health which Americans are facing. This allows them more funds to pursue their own interests and hobbies. Also, with higher education more accessible, so are successful careers. Not only do many other countries allow this financial breathing room for citizens to pursue their own desires, but it is also built into their system. For example, Norwegian students during their equivalent of middle school and high school have the choice of certain elective classes and programs, including physical activity and health and community service, politics, theater, outdoor life, technology and design, media, languages, psychology, and so much more. The outdoor subject allows students certain days off school where they went on trips, doing things such as camping and skiing. After high school, there's programs where students can choose a hobby and/or travel for a year before starting higher education. This can be done through one of 85 schools in Norway, and there are over 800 courses. Upon completion, students can earn 2 extra credit points to their GPA. The variety of activities, including hobbies and career options, not only allows their students to experience and explore their passions, but also perhaps allows greater opportunity to find what they want to do in life before entering higher education. In America, some of these electives may also be offered in our schools, but I feel like we lack a helpful and guiding structure which allows for students to figure out a path to pursue before they are pressured to pay so much for college as an undecided major, or one who changes their major multiple times. In short, I believe changes can be made to the American education system to allow for more financial independence, stability, and freedom for American citizens. By implementing similar systems which exist in other democratic countries with low tuition costs, allowing our young Americans and our students to pursue their passions, which currently seem untouchable because of debt, leading to a greater sense of happiness and purpose, as well as better mental health. Our students' individual hopes and desires, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, should be taken into greater consideration, because we are currently living in a system that suppresses these individual desires because of the need of money and the pressure to be part of the system. Did we forget that individuals make up the society? Less debt will also boost the economy and give students a good start after graduation from higher education in order to live comfortably, pursue their desires, a career, and a family.